What's up, rockers all across the world? Back on this kind of rotation series about talking the show on April 25th. I already had Whiskey and the Wolves on there with Sir Lucas. Now we're having some fun. It's actually a husband wife combination. He has no say in anything. She runs everything. He's just there to support her and be on her leash, essentially.
I really don't need to be here at all.
I have Taylor and Leandra from Graves and the Bad Weather. What's up,
What's up,
guys?
dude?
What up, dude?
Yeah, thanks for having us, man. Good to catch up and chat.
It's been a good minute besides, running to each other and also coming out to my show, one of my shows at the Wayfair,
Of
or
course.
as our singer likes to say, Wafer, the Wafer.
The wafer. That's funny.
But it's kind of like it has been a while. Like you guys have been kind of like I think the last time well at least I know you guys played other shows. Like you were just doing shows last year with Dead Poets, DPS, Dead Poets Society, right? At Troubadour, which was sick. I know you guys were supposed to do House of Blues, not House of Blues, Constellation Room Observatory, but then you got switched over to LA Troubadour.
Yeah, I got switched over to the Troubadour, so we did that one. I think that's how we kind of rang the year in. That was our last show of the year. Actually, the last time we played. So
Oh,
excited
like
to come back.
October, November, maybe September.
That was end of May.
Oh, there you
End
go.
of
I'm sorry, I'm way off. Oh my God. Last year was a blur, we're
Oh
still in
yeah.
January-ish.
Yeah.
I thought we were in November right now, so I don't know what's going on.
Well, last time I saw you guys was actually with Whiskey as well when you guys played at the Constellation Room too. So that was cool having, everybody together. The family's coming back together for April 25th. Everybody.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yep. Time to get the gang together.
Well, how else you guys been? Yeah, I know you guys have been busy, like in studio wise, working on things. How have things been in the gray? You guys brought the bad weather these last couple weeks. Finally, you brought all this rain, in California, or is that good weather? That's subjective.
It's good weather at this point in this
Well,
desert.
So what's been new in between the shows from last year and then coming out into this brand new year, 2025?
yeah, last year, so we didn't really play all that much last year. We only played a few select shows because we kind of ran into a lot. Sarah, our bass and keys player, she got in a motorcycle wreck and broke her hand, so she was out of commission for a while. And then Sean and I both travel for work, and last year was busy as hell. So it turned into a really good year in the sense where we spent a lot of time writing, and we found a new studio and a new engineer to start working with,
Hmm.
and that was incredible. So we wrote a lot, and we went and recorded the next EP out at Pale Moon Ranch with Alex. And now that we have all that done, got it mixed by Ben and mastered, we're ready to start playing those shows again, releasing these new singles.
You just hopped over a bunch of all kinds of stuff. Let's dissect it a little bit. It's like boom, boom, boom. Like, well, hold on. All right, let's talk about this recording studio that you guys found and when you guys went out to. I know it's kind of out in meth country in California, but it could be like a nice diamond area. But where was this located and how'd you guys find it?
So we've always had a good relationship with Sound Asylum Studios in Santa Ana, and that's where we've done, since we were a baby band, we've always worked with Mike Trulines there to record our stuff. But when it came time to do this EP, he had shut down the studio and kind of went into semi-retirement, just working from home. So we were kind of forced to
We
find a
had
new
to find a
spot.
new place.
So, and this place came with a really good recommendation from some friends of ours. So we checked it out. It's way out in the middle of the desert towards Palmdale out in Juniper Hills. And it's essentially a big old house that this guy from LA went out to and built a absolutely incredible studio. And so we got to work with him and meet him. And it was interesting working with someone new after working with Mike for so long. But it was awesome working with Alex.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked working with him.
Yeah, hell of an engineer with a really great producer's mind too.
Hmm.
So that was a lot of
You said
fun.
he
And
moved out from LA.
yeah, he used to work down here in LA with like a lot of hardcore bands and doom bands, and then
Like,
ended
I
up.
hate you people. Leave me alone. I'll build my own oasis away from everyone.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just him and his.
Can you blame?
In recent years, no. Well, that's cool. How was it out there? How was like when you guys did, how many songs did you track for the EP and how was it?
We did 5 this time. Yeah, so just a short and sweet EP.
It was lovely because it's up like in the hills and like you just really feel isolated, like in a good way.
Nice. So kind of like a nice good mantra of going in there, be disconnected from everybody, from swiping, tagging, posting, everything.
Very
Yeah.
calming, which I always appreciate because I don't like recording. I get very nervous.
Well, it was kind of cool to ask then. It's like it's always interesting to see the people's perspectives on it. What would you say is like the worst thing about recording, going into the studio and going into the EPU? What's the worst thing that you can, I guess, if there's a worst thing that you can say, feel about it?
It's just the pressure because it has to be perfect, essentially, because it's what people are going to hear. That burp was very smelly. Oh my God.
I got the whiskey burps right
People
now.
are going to hear or smell, you know.
It, yeah, it's a pressure. Everything has to be perfect because it's the way everybody's going to hear it from now until forever, unless they come and see you live. So I think it's just like a mental thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And then like hoping like, oh God, voice works with me, but I'm stressed out, but I want a cigarette. Should I have a cigarette or is that going to ruin what we're doing later? And like, it's just a mess.
Are there any like certain vocal, let's say like myths, technology, like secret hacks that you've been doing? Like I know Lizzie Hale would do like salty chips before going in to get her voice a certain way, or there's certain like little techniques that you would use to like, I guess, prep your voice.
Interesting. A
I don't,
lot of water.
I guess it's like the oils and the salt from the chip that helps with,
That,
yeah.
that makes sense. I'd say a lot of water. I always have like a water like this big. And I try not to talk the day I'm singing or recording vocals. I'm not great at not talking because I love talking. And then I have noticed since I'm a cigarette smoker, if I don't smoke at all, it my voice feels kind of weird. So I'll make sure to have a couple. That way it just feels like the status quo.
Yeah,
And
get that Miley Cyrus voice in there.
yeah, yeah, pretty much. But that's also why it's stressful to record because I'm trying not to talk, but like I have all this nervous energy, so like
You
all I
need
want to
to
do is
talk, yeah.
go.
Well, how about you, Taylor? What would you say like the worst part for recording, if there's, for you?
I don't really know if I can find a worse part, man. I mean, I love recording. So it's like some of the most fun that I have being in a band. So I have a good time. It is really nerve wracking when you're working with someone new, though.
Mm.
And, working with Alex when we first started, before we were able to kind of like get to know each other and catch each other's vibe, that was a little intimidating because he had a hell of an ear, man. A hell of an ear. And every engineer is different. And one of his big things is tuning. And you wouldn't think tuning would be a problem, but I've never met a guy with an ear like this.
Then
Where,
sorry, you little bring it down on a half step. No, that's too much. Go back up. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I came out with all my gear. I had my Fender Twin Reverb and my Les Paul, which has always been my baby. And we ended up scrapping the Les Paul, and we just ended up using his gear. And we played an Evertune bridge for the first time, which that was pretty wild.
That's interesting you brought that because I was going to come bring this up. I watched the interview with Matt Heafy from Trivium. He talked about the same thing about when he's recording, this always the tuning, and then they switched to an Evertune bridge. And now, ironically, hey, now you're on an Evertune bridge as well.
Yeah,
It's so weird the way it works.
yeah, it's a wild mechanism. If you ever taken, I've heard about them obviously, but I've never actually seen or used one in person.
Like you
And
can't bend a note. It's like impossible.
yeah, yeah. So just looking at the Evertune bridge. It's really wild. If you put any sort of added tension on a string, the saddle actually moves with it. So doing bends just doesn't work. So that was weird recording because I do a lot of bends. So, it turned into a two-man operation where we'd have to go back and do the bends, and one guy would have to hold the saddle in place just to
That's
get
so
these.
funny. Yeah, actually, I never thought about that because I knew how the Evertune worked, but I'd never actually thought, I'm like, oh, fuck. I like that does make sense. It'd be really awkward to do any kind of freaking bends or vibratos or something.
Yeah, you cannot do it on an Everton, just straight playing. But it worked great, and I kind of trusted the process with him. So he knows better than I do, and there's a reason why we went to him. So I'm really happy with the product that we got out of it.
Besides,
Me
like,
too.
doing using a guitar with Evertune and kind of switching what you're, gear wise, did he push you guys in any other way? Any creative things like, like how you brought up working with a new producer, how their mindset, did he push you guys a little bit outside of what you would thought you would do?
Well, he didn't produce so much as engineer.
Yeah, he was mostly engineering, but he definitely added a lot of new things. We've always been kind of just a straightforward rock and roll band, heavy rock, if you will. But um, I've always gone in with, my second guitar part's already written. I don't have a ton of gear. Usually, I just got one badass amp, and I'll just use that. This one, we really got into using different amps and different gear to layer guitars and stuff like that, which that was really cool. And I learned a lot working with him on that.
Nice. And you guys did 5 tracks, correct?
Five
Mm-hmm.
tracks, yeah.
All right. So what's the release schedule? Are you only going to do a couple more this year and then drop the whole EP? Is that going to be the 2025 plan?
We don't have it completely laid out yet, but I do know we're going to drop the first single at our House of Blues show on April 25th.
That is exactly what I was going to ask about. Is this new music, new single coming out after, now you guys do the studio stuff. Finally new music because I feel like the last time I saw you was the release of that new EP as well at the Constellation Room. So let's talk about this new music. Finally, new Graves music dropping on April 25th for this show because Whiskey has a single release. You guys have a new single release. So let's go. Let's talk about this puppy and how did you decide this single from the out of the 5 to release for this show?
I think we chose this one because the vision just came together the fastest. Do you want to say the name of the track?
Yeah, the first single that we're going to be releasing is called Sad Girl Rock.
Yeah,
Sad
Sad Girl.
Girl Rock. Please put that on a shirt. That's a fucking great shirt idea.
It's going to be on a shirt. Yeah.
We already have a shirt designed for
Yeah, there
it.
we go.
So yeah, the whole like the visual vision, for lack of a better term, came together really fast on that one, and it's definitely a more aggressive song for us. So we wanted to come out with like a punch, like a gut punch, and it's definitely like an angry song, but like I don't know, I like it.
Sounds like very sad.
It's not. It's it's an aggressive song.
Well, stoked to hear. Is it already mixed and mastered and just like ready to pop out?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got the final masters back. I want to say like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So,
Ooh.
and then we got back.
All right. So then are you going to be released? Is it essentially going to be dropping the Thursday night before the single release? Obviously, because the show's on Friday.
That'll be the plan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh Lord, Greg's got new weather coming out. Oh, music and dropping everywhere. Everyone's dropping new music. It's a great year. It's a beautiful year. And
Yeah,
obviously you guys are gonna be playing it live too, right?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Are you gonna throw in any other new tracks besides that as well? Or no? Just that's the only new one you're gonna throw in the rotation.
We'll probably play a couple more of the songs for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially with us not being able to perform all that much last year. It'd be nice to get some of those songs out and shake off the rust and
Get the wiggles out.
get used to.
That's dope. It's gonna be a great show. I'm glad. Thank you for having me part of it as well with Finding Georgia.
Oh,
Um, it's kind of
look,
funny how we did this show, because originally you were gonna do this at the Constellation Room too, as well, bring it back. Um, But actually, the guitar player, Finding Georgia, Rob, he sends me a screenshot. He's like, "Are we playing this show?" And it was some kind of weird alternative hipster rock bands.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "I don't know. Let me go check on this."
Okay.
And now we got bumped over to House of Blues, which I personally think is better.
Yeah, I agree. I think a Constellation Room is going to be a lot of fun. You know, it's a smaller room, but that room is so much fucking fun to
It
play.
is, yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
um,
the Parish. I love the vibe. I love the sound. I just like House of Blues in general, and I don't feel like I'm gonna get shanked.
yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Room. I love the Constellation Room, but everything else about that place comes in second next to House of Blues.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
that's House of Blues is a great fucking stage too. So
Hmm.
what it came down to was it was like an admin error initially. For some reason, the reps from Live Nation thought that we were talking about the Parish Room instead
Hmm.
of the Constellation Room.
Constellation Room.
I think it worked out. I mean,
Yeah.
first show, you know, back for all of us together, new music. Let's play in the bigger room. Let's have more fun. Let's do House of Blues.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a packed night. And like I have friends from San Diego and family flying in because I'm like, yo, we're playing at the House of Blues. You're gonna want to turn up for this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Really excited about the name House of Blues, which is I love.
And honestly, I have every time I've seen a show I personally like Parish more than the main room there. And every time I've seen a show in the Parish, it sounded fucking great.
Hmm.
yeah. I would agree with that. I actually like the Parish more than the main room too. Not that I would be mad if we played the main room someday, but if I'm gonna go see a show, I like the Parish more.
And some people are like, I don't know, dude, about the stone walls and everything. I'm like, dude, honestly, I feel like the sound now, it just comes like actually goes out to the crowd more. In my
Oh
personal,
yeah.
especially like on the low end for stuff, it's like you can actually feel the bass, you can actually feel the kick drum going in there and stuff like that. So it's like it's kind of cool that like every sound, every note, you're gonna hear it.
Yeah, yeah. It's such a vibe in there too. That room in general, not only does it sound great, it's big yet intimate at the same time, but it makes for great photos as well.
Oh
Like the
yeah.
Hmm.
whole,
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm gonna look sexy as fuck.
Half stomach over there.
yeah,
Okay.
Well, you guys are not, like you're not foreigners to this area anyways, because you've played there before, so you know exactly how it feels to be playing at the parish.
oh yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
fun.
We've always had a good time playing there. Excited to go back, especially with
And
all of.
oh yeah, I was gonna ask about like the rest of the bands. What do you guys think of the lineup for Whiskey and the Wolves, Finding Georgia, and Idol's Ruin, a newer band that came out last year?
Yeah, well, obviously,
Are they new?
uh, are actually are they new? I
Yeah,
know
yeah,
Bias.
they're a whole new project. Um, Joe, my buddy Joe, he plays bass with them, and then Joy, she's their drummer. Um, I forgot the singer's name. He's drawing a blank. Uh, he was another
They,
project as well, and they're essentially the singer had a band that kind of went out and he formed an Idol's Ruin. They wanted to do a more, harder rock, heavier tone, and that's how it came out.
yeah, we went and saw them the other day. They were playing somewhere near our house. And they were really good. I had a really good time watching them.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like a
it,
record store or something like that, right?
Yeah, it's a used bookstore
There we
slash
go.
record. And they made it into a little venue in the back.
Which is sick. I like that.
Yeah, it's super cool. It's called DBZ.
yeah, it's a good little local spot over here in our neck of the woods in Corona.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
and
I guess
Idols
that.
they
What's
were a
that?
last they were a last minute addition to the lineup. So you know,
It's our lineup.
yeah, for April, and I didn't really know. I hadn't had a chance to see them live before, so we found out they were playing here in Corona. So we went to go check them out, and man, I was fucking blown away, man. They were my favorite band of the night.
Oh,
Yeah,
they're
and
all incredibly talented. Every single one of them, especially Joe, phenomenal guitar player, plays in a bunch. The dude just lives literally his life is playing music.
yeah,
Joey's been a drummer forever, super talented. Their singer, his vocal range is insane.
yeah, and they were really nice people too, which
Hmm.
which makes it so much better. They were. super kind, and then they put on a hell of a show too. So
Mhm.
I'm really looking forward to playing with them. And I
Yeah.
love having to open the show up too, because it means the rest of us got to work really fucking hard to follow them.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're gonna bring the energy.
Yeah, and then obviously excited to play with Whiskey. You know, those are our boys, our brothers, and
They're the
then
besties.
excited to finally share a bill with you too, buddy.
I know it's gonna be. I'm like, all right, I get to. I'm already done with whiskey. This is great. Now I gotta do it with the bad weather. I can finally be on there. I'm like, all right, I gotta bring my chops. I gotta make sure, I look better than Taylor. I gotta suck it in more.
Oh my
I
goodness.
don't think you have to worry about that.
Are you still using your are you doing the Line 6 floor Helix, or no, did you switch, or did you have the Fender Tone Master?
You know what? I about a year ago I switched over to a Helix, and it has been. I've always been diehard tube amps,
Yeah,
big
yeah.
cat.
I remember that because you're getting rid of gear and then you switched over, and I didn't remember if it was this Tone Master, the new one, or the Line 6 Helix.
Well, you know what, man? Like I've had so much gear over the course of my life, but I always you can always tell when I'm switching shit up because I sell fucking everything, and I always hit the home. You know, I'm the kind of guy. I own like two pairs of jeans, and I only really wear one. I just keep washing it. I find something I like, and I just stick to that. I don't have
That's
the
a
time.
man's answer. That's a man's answer.
Yeah, yeah. So I got that Helix, and dude, it's been the best thing I've ever done, man. And actually, this week, I just also got a quad Cortex.
Oh,
So
damn. Damn. Someone put some money down. So, yeah, damn.
we're going to be getting Leandra back on guitar. So we needed to get another amp modeler, and we got her a new guitar too. So she's going to bust that out at House Blues.
The only thing that's been frustrating. I use the Head Rush, and the amp modelers are so great for just, like, these shows for plug and play. We can easily load in, easily get the tone we want. But I'm a person where I get this random phase, like I want to change my entire tone, and then
Uh,
it's just like, all right, buttons, menu screen. All right, I got to go back. All right, I got to adjust the level on this one and go back to the other screen. That's the only thing that's annoying. It's not like having it right on your floor, and analog adjusting everything just like on the spot.
yeah, I almost have the opposite problem because I find it easier now than I did before. You know, especially with Helix and Neural DSP, because now, back when I played tube amps and stuff, there's no perfect amp out there that does amazing Fender like cleans and then like Mesa Boogie dirt. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
now I can set these things up and I can have 3, 4 amps in one chain and just have my clean tone through a 65 twin, and then now I'm using EVH models for my dirt, and now they got Sun Model Ts, which I'm a Doom head, so that's the dream. It's
I
I'm
love the amp selections, and I love like all the patches and IRs you can download from everyone and then put it in there from any whatever patchwork company you want. It's more on the pedal side, like, having to jump back and forth between screens and tapping it and adjusting. All right, what do you want this? Or hitting the next one over. How much do you want the presence or something like that? That's the only thing. That's my nitpicky side.
Yeah, you definitely got to be nitpicky. If you want to change a tone, you got to be ready to sit there for a couple hours just tweaking knobs and shit.
Yeah, that's what I do at least once a month. I'm like, ah, I'll change it.
Yeah. Well,
Um, well, I'm stoked for this show. I'm stoked for everything that's happened. This is going to be, I'm glad you guys are playing shows. I'm glad you're playing new music. I'm glad Wolves are coming out with new music. Like, this is a great first kick of the year. Because really, shows don't really happen in January. It's really February. And then coming into March and April, that's when all the bands start trickling. Everyone's still December, January. It's the same thing. No one does anything during those 2 months. It's really these next couple months where everyone does all their shit.
well, especially out here too. I mean, January is pretty much all taken up by NAM.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Even though this year felt, I don't know if you guys went. I thought this was the smallest dam since like post COVID.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
really? This is the
Yeah,
first time, I think, 2016 that we haven't gone. So Good. I guess good to know we weren't really missing much this year.
No, I've brought this up with a few other people, and it's just it feels like Nam has turned into like a photo booth and signing session of just like, oh,
I get too.
I'm
Like
like,
everybody's only there to see their favorite celebrity. Like,
Mm.
yeah, because now that it's completely open, anyone can pay to go. So it's kind of like, and I get there,
Oh,
there, yeah,
that's it.
yeah, you can pay only 150 to go the entire weekend.
Oh, geez.
really?
Yeah,
Wow.
Well, that is different.
because now
Yeah,
they
that.
have a bunch of like YouTube influencers and people that are buyers. Like, oh, it says on the thing buyer or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, because you can obviously you can be endorsed or a company could invite you and you pay their invitation fee, which is like 75 bucks, and then they have the open one, which is 150 now.
Yeah, I mean, I
Okay.
I hate to be that guy because I don't want to like gatekeep fucking Nam or something like that. I think everyone should be able to go at least once just to know what it's about. But when you open it up like that, then it stops being about the
Music.
gear or the art or the music. It's gonna end up being a fucking TikTok fest.
Well, it'll be
That's what it felt like the most this year.
yeah, it'll be like a celeb convention.
Yeah, and like I didn't feel like I could connect and talk to companies like I wanted to and seeing gear. All I saw was people making selfie videos and whatnot. And still the fact that it felt one, it was great. They had Marshall. Marshall was finally there after forever, but like still there was no Fender, no Gibson, none of that stuff, you know.
I thought
So
they were there.
I
mm-mm.
know Gibson. Well, I don't think Gibson is gonna come back, but
No, I don't think so either. They don't need to, you know. Um,
yeah,
so it's like, yeah, it just really lost its like the musicianship and networking that it used to be.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I get
Well,
what
it
they're
was like
doing now. Trying to make money. That's what they're doing.
it will change it from something like something for musicians though to like something for more spectator.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because what it was before COVID, it used to be like the open public can go on Sundays, right? And then like Thursday through Saturday were like the real NAM days about the musicians coming in and checking things out, the gear, representatives, stuff like that. If you talk to someone beforehand. Um, but yeah, like I said, they made it all public, so it is what it is.
Well,
So it is.
times change.
Well, this could be kind of cool as we're like bringing it to close. It's always fun to talk about because we all have similar tastes in music and film stuff. Before we got on here, we were talking about horror movies. So I already said my piece on Midsummer, but
Yeah.
what are some newer horror movies that came out in the last like 5 months, 6 months in this, 24 year kind of ish 25 that you guys have liked?
I watched Mads the other day. It's a French film. I think it's on Shutter. I think it came out last year. But that was really, really good. It's a one shot. So it just there are no cuts or anything.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything about it, but it's really, really, really good.
Ooh, all right. What about you, Taylor?
I'm trying to think, man. I'm not the biggest horror movie buff, so I'm usually the supportive husband who just.
I'll go with
What? No Nosferatu, no substance. No, no.
Oh, you know
The
what?
Substance was amazing.
I wish I had gone to see The Substance with her. I stayed at home that night, and then she came back home and told me about it. And I was like, oh fuck, I might have actually liked that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he missed it.
Nosferatu was cool as hell. I really enjoyed that. We also went to go see Presents a few weeks ago,
I loved Presents.
and that was an interesting movie. I don't know if it's. I don't think it's horror, but it was a cool movie. It was a really interesting take. I appreciate you with that one.
There's, there's very few. I don't know. It's like in recent times I've noticed this. It almost feels like most of the horror films that are like going straight, like the streaming service horror films, are almost better than the theatrical horror films.
Well, they can do more. They can be more upsetting and more like divisive because you don't have to deal with the public
Yeah.
or the general public.
Yeah, I think that's the thing right now because horror movies have become so trendy. It's definitely having a moment right now.
Which is good.
Um,
I'm here for it.
but every
Yeah.
time that videos get involved and it
Mhm.
becomes the mainstream thing, and then it starts to
Yeah.
get done.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it felt like seeing Nosferatu in theaters was the way to see it. Like I saw it on Christmas Day, and I was like,
Yeah,
hell yeah. I did.
that
I
that
really, but Bill Star. I always say their name. Starsguard.
oh, sorry.
There we go. He.
You got
I
this,
mean, if
buddy.
his name was not on the credits, you would never know he was in the film.
No.
Uh, yeah, yeah, he was legit, man. He was
Yeah, I was
terrible.
like, is he really in this? Like, really? And I was like, oh shit. No,
Yeah,
he's just that good.
yeah, and he
Well,
hangs down.
He does hang down.
also there were so many actually fake Nosferatu film posters for this with they imposed his face onto
Yeah.
it. Then I'm like, I was kind of low key expecting that, and I was like, oh wow, this is different. I did not recognize him at all.
Yeah. Oh, he has a mustache. Okay.
Um, what I was actually like, talking about the Shutter. There's a really cool one called Oddity, and
Good oddity.
what's that?
I hated that movie. You hated that movie.
Really?
Oddity. The
Was
one.
it about the girl who gets revenge for her sister? Oh,
Yeah.
I love that premise. Such a cool, unique twist.
The premise, yes. I thought it was so like schlockily done though. I couldn't.
Leandra's also the ultimate fucking snob when it comes to horror movies. So,
No, I just like what I like. A lot of people liked Oddity. Like I know I'm in the minority when it
Justin,
comes to that.
she likes Midsummer, bro.
Okay.
Hey, so does a lot of other people. I am not one of them, but there was a lot of other people like that. That's my take. And also, like, I didn't like The Witch. I didn't like Robert Eggers' The Witch at all. I thought that was the worst slow burn horror movie ever.
I liked it because it was very like Shakespearean esque, you know. And I grew up watching and acting in Shakespeare plays, so I liked it. I think that helped me appreciate it a lot more. But that is a slow movie.
Yeah, like I love Lighthouse. That was killer. That was amazing with Robert Patterson and William Dafoe, which I love William Dafoe.
Did you like Northman?
Oh yeah, that was cool. That one was
Yeah.
interesting. I liked it. It was I can get his take on it and whatnot. I think I was a little bit uh I liked the Viking TV show a lot. So I guess I think that show did a better on that premise of in putting into the whole Norse mythology and whatnot more so than his film did. And
Oh yeah.
I never understood why, for some reason, the rock and metal community and like the Northmen, you got to watch the Northmen. Like every metalhead was like the Northmen, but there was no metal soundtrack for the film, so I didn't understand why.
Yeah. Probably
It's not
just
like
because
The
it was.
Crow or something where they had a metal soundtrack.
They're like this whole movie is a goddamn breakdown.
I'm like, but they don't play any metal music anymore. Like, there's no like rock soundtracks anymore. Um, I have been really, I people are always surprised, but I think this is like the best adaptation of Interview with a Vampire ever, and it's a show, Interview with a Vampire.
Hearing that.
Really,
Yeah, a lot of people. I know everyone at work is like watching this
It's
show.
fucking insane.
I didn't know it was doing well. I knew it was out there, but I hadn't really heard much about it.
Oh yeah, they're doing a third season coming out this year. And that's why I don't know if you guys ever read the books or like seen the original one or whatnot, but like it's on point. Like
Mm,
I almost like now when I watch the original one with Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt, I'm like, I like the show better.
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
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 I felt the same way about that TV show Hannibal. Like
Mm.
Oh,
the movie,
really? Oh, wow.
that TV show is one of the best things I've ever seen.
Well, it would be cool as we're on this horror conversation. What do you think is the most overrated horror film? It could be like old or new, overrated.
That's a big question.
I'd have to really go through the Rolodex, but just off the top of my head, it popped right in there. I think The Ring is overrated as hell.
What?
Yeah, I kind of think,
What?
yeah. And she loves it too.
Well, it scared me more than like most movies do. But I watched it when I was like 13, so it lives in like infamy.
Yeah, I hate that movie.
She's giving me the most dirty look right now.
I thought I knew you.
Yeah, yeah, that movie sucks.
I'm trying to think of a movie I saw recently that I thought was really overrated. It's not the most overrated, but there's a movie called Red Rooms that came out on Shudder also, and it's getting like rave reviews, like 5 stars across the board. And I watched it, and like 3/4 of the movie is like 5 stars, and then the end just like
Drops off.
Mm.
just dropped off for me. Yeah, so I would only give it like probably 2.5 or 3 stars. So I thought that was overhyped at the very least.
Oh, what was that movie we just went to go see that I was pissed off about the ending?
Presents.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think this would be a hot take, but I have always thought it was overrated, and even the new ones, Halloween.
I'll talk to you later.
Those are his favorite movies.
That's my favorite. Michael Myers is the shit.
As
And
a
I'm
second,
the Rob Zombie ones too.
I mean, the Rob Zombie ones were cool because I like the other actors in it. But
Yeah.
like the still, even the new ones like Halloween Ends, Kills, and all that stuff.
They keep going.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
they was.
But even when I was a kid watching the original Halloween, I'm like, he's walking really slow.
I'm slashers in general, so I don't completely agree with you there.
I like I think I'm a big Wes Craven fan, so what like I love Scream, so I loved his like it always a great unique twist and always like a satire on horror at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think part of the reason why I love Halloween so much is not necessarily that it's terrifying or anything like that. I think I enjoy that it's just a classic and it's kind of a time capsule in a way.
Well, you love that he's
Like,
heartless.
well, yeah, I think the character is cool as hell, but I'm not gonna be sit there shaking in my boots watching a Halloween movie. But I love them. I love the classic like horror trope that it was.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What I've also been appreciating lately is horror films that are like an hour and a half long now.
Mm, hmm
Like this don't need to be 2.5, 3 hours long. What's
With
that?
like, unless it's like a new A24 movie
Even
where
then,
it's,
like as much as I love Nosferatu, it was a stretch. I mean, I think it was 2 hours, a little over 2 hours for that film, right?
yeah.
Yeah. If any film needs to go, any horror movie needs to go beyond that, but like an hour and a half feels so nice. I forgot what I read about. There's a new horror movie. Oh, Sinners. That's what I'm really excited to see. Sinners coming out in like April with Michael B. Johnson, the guy who played Creed's son.
Yeah.
Um, it's a vampire flick, but it's set in the deep south in like I think the 1920s or something. And he learns to play the blues and he's like a blues musician. And somehow that he plays it so well, he summons like like devils, the vampires to come to them and attack them.
Oh, that sounds
That's
fucking
pretty
sick.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
hyped.
dope as fuck. I like that. It sounded really unique and it looked really cool. And it's only an hour and a half for the film. Like, oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to look into that. We'll go see that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll go
just
see
like
it.
unique twist. I'm like, oh, cool. Blues rock and kind of like it's kind of like it sounds like it's dabbing into that whole thing of like deal with the devil, crossroads, and bringing evil
Mm-hmm.
spirits and stuff.
Yeah, get into all the Robert Johnson
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
yeah. Well, also then, what have you guys been listening to lately? What's been new music wise?
I've been obsessed with Sophia Isela lately. I can't stop fucking listening to her. She is awesome.
I don't know who she is, but I'll agree with you.
She's very creepy.
Leandra's on a kick. Like it started with Billie Eilish like a few years back, where she's finding these really unique, really strange female vocalists, and this might be the strangest one she's found.
I love
I
Billie
can't.
Eilish, man. If she made an alternative like rock band, that would go hard.
What?
If Billie Eilish made like a rock band group, that would go hard.
Tight. That would be tight. I love Billy. But yeah, Sophia Estella, she writes in such an interesting way. Like I don't really know anyone who writes just like her, and her lyrics are so they're just like poetry thrown at the wall kind of a thing, rather
Yeah.
than like structured chorus, structured verse, like and she plays it along with like analog horror and her like visuals and music videos. She's very creative, very creepy. I love her.
Ooh,
Yeah,
okay. I'll give it a listen. I'm very open-minded about listening things.
she reminds me of like a creepier, like Emma Ruth Rundle meets Billie Eilish,
Yeah.
Chelsea Wolfe kind of sound.
Yeah, okay. That's what's up. All right, that's cool. How about you, Taylor? What you been listening to?
There's two bands that I have been hyped on lately. I can't stop listening to them, man. I think we talked about it over Instagram a couple of weeks back, but Architects
Fuck
and
yeah.
While She Sleeps, I just discovered them like a couple ago. I'm
Great
fucking
British gents. Those dudes, they are completely independent. They have no label, and
Really.
they are the hardest working dudes I have seen in the music industry.
okay. Well, that
They
makes me.
they produce all their own music. They left. I forgot who they were with. I think it was like either Rise or Victory Records or something like that back in, I don't know, over 10 years ago. And these dudes literally went out in Sheffield, England, and I don't know if they rent it or own it, but they have a huge, giant, like industrial warehouse. They converted it into a studio and record all their music there. They have like a merch store there. Everything is there in this giant thing. And they are very much about we handle everything. We design everything from like the promotion. Like one of their albums, they went out in England, I think it was in London, and they had people dressed up in masks, and they were having USB sticks, giving them out to people to listen to the new music.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like they're like definition of like if you want to be an independent band and be successful, this is how hard you need to work.
Mm,
Okay, I'm gonna go on a deeper dive with them then, because
that's While She Sleeps.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, that whole Sleep Society album and the Self Hell one, I just can't
Oh
stop
yeah.
listening. Yeah, it's really those two bands, them and Architects, have like really been inspiring me as a guitar player like lately. Like I'm trying to learn as much as I can from them.
Well, it's inspiring just to know that they're not on a label and they're killing it.
Yeah, it's like I watch I follow all the band members from on While She Sleeps, and it's like their guitar players are insane. Like
Yeah,
their tones that the guy gets is insane, and most of the stuff I believe he's doing it old fashioned with a pedal board. I know he's like to use the Digitech to get those tones and stuff like that. And
he works two Digitech whammies at the same time with
Oh,
each
that
foot.
guy.
yeah,
Like he,
yeah.
that's
And they also
and
like they're a great model of looking like, dude, this is the energy you need to be at a live show. Like how much you should
yeah,
be like giving a show out.
mhm.
But I'm
Yeah,
stoked for the Architects album dropping out in February or this month in a couple weeks.
2 weeks, buddy. New album. So psyched.
Everyone's hated their evolution, but I think it's like the best evolution in the world. Like the last three albums have been my favorite albums from them, and like they used to be super metalcore, and then like dude, these guys are fucking killing it. I literally went out to Houston, Texas, just to go see them play at the House of Blues because they weren't playing out here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, that wow. See, I'm lucky because I just discovered them like 3, 4 months ago. So their new shit, like for those who wish to exist, like that album, like that's the sound that I love. I tried to do the deep dive and went back and listened to their older stuff, and I'm just like, no, that's not for me. I love that this is what they're doing
yeah,
now.
yeah. If anything, the most close you would probably like is the Doomsday album that has
Yeah,
yeah, Doomsday, Holy Hell. But like Sam has unofficially kind of been like dubbed the blah guy.
yeah, I can see that.
He like because in early days they would have a breakdown blah, and like That's good. He's not he obviously he didn't start it, but like he did it so well that everyone just dubbed him as the black guy.
That's hilarious.
Love it.
Um, I think somebody I've honestly I've been rotating between the new Linkin Park album, Architects obviously, and a little bit blues rock with Bones Owens out in Nashville.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've had that guy pop up on a couple of my playlists. He's good.
Killer. That talk about chasing tone. That guy is insane. Um, but I love the new Linkin Park record. I think it's like perfect.
I've heard people say a lot of good things about it. I haven't listened to it yet myself. So, but I
It's
would
like
imagine it. But I mean, the band's great and she's great, and now they're writing songs together. I think that
yeah,
was the tough song she was singing to start. They weren't written for her.
yeah. The way I looked at it was when I hear the song, if I can hear Chester singing it, then it's Linkin Park still. Like every
Mm.
song, you can easily hear where Chester can be singing this, and that shows that like this band is the band itself is Linkin Park, not just like the singer is Linkin
Uh,
Park.
okay. Yeah, yeah, that's an interesting. I wouldn't have thought of it like that, but that makes a lot of sense. Yeah,
Like I'm like you can hear what makes a Linkin Park riff.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'll have to check that out.
Um, but dude, I'm awesome. I'm so stoked to finally play this show, have new music for you guys, and we're finding Georgia. They wrote the music before. We've been playing it. We're kind of dropping a new single right before the show as well, and it's one of my
Yeah.
favorite ones. It's a heavy as fuck. We have a breakdown. It's sick.
Oh, nice.
So this is kind of great. All the bands are having like new music to drop out, officially new music. We've been playing it live, but like officially new music.
Hell yeah, dude. It's gonna be a fun night, man. Looking forward to it.
And I look forward to the rest of the music as it trickles out. And so whenever you guys have that time lap and whenever you're gonna like announce it, I'll always I'm gonna bump it and post it like I've always done. And I'm excited to hear this kind of not so sad girl aggressive song.
It's coming for you.
Yeah, if you make pins, that'd be a great thing too. It says sad girl rock. That'd be great. Pins. Fuck yeah. I'll put on my leather jacket.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna out that night specifically for that song, and
Yeah.
we're pretty psyched on the design.
Oh, I'm curious now what the shirt is because I only have one grave design. Yeah, I have one. I have the original, the snake with the lightning bolts on it.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, the OG.
hell yeah. Well, we'll have to get you one of these so you can rock your sad girl
Fuck
rock.
yeah, I will rock the fuck out of it in the gym.
Yeah,
Well, thank you guys. I'll have this all drop links below for all their stuff, of course. Follow them on Instagram, on the YouTube, on the Spotify, on her Shutter account. Let's look find all her favorites of the stuff she doesn't like. Besides Oddity, that's a great film. Go watch it. And come out to the show, please, as well. All right, tickets. I'll have the links for the Ticketmaster. Once the show's passed, I'll probably still keep the link there because this will make you feel sad because you missed it. Um, but come out, be a great night of local hard rock, different genres, great genres. Everyone's different, but everyone's fucking bitching.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Good little fam.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But keep the horns up and come out the show.
Hell yeah.